Welcome to another podcast of the current situation at Manchester United. I'm going to get into something that is very, I wouldn't say surprising, but it caught me off guard. And this is something that I've been looked into very deeply, and the confirmation has been made a few minutes ago. I'm going to get into that. I played a football tournament yesterday, and man, although we came third place in the tournament, we got knocked out of the semi-finals. Man, my left leg is just knackered, man. My ankle is bruised. My left knee, I think it's out of place. Like, I could hardly walk. Like, I need a cane. Like, I'm 67 years old or so. But yeah, that was a very gratifying experience being in a football tournament. It just shows you that the game of football is very physical. It was very physical. And it goes to show that you shouldn't underestimate certain players, whether in the Premier League or on a professional level, because some of us persons may look at it and say, some players, they're crap. They can't play football. But they actually can play football. If you play at that level, that intensity, it's not easy. And I'm not saying that I play that exact intensity. But even me, by my standards, and I would say I'm a relatively, good athlete or a decent footballer, I couldn't keep up with yesterday. I got knackered yesterday. But this video is not about, my tenure in a football tournament. This video on a serious level is about a situation with a football player that I wouldn't say I saw coming from a mile away, but it was inevitable that it was going to happen. Especially given that they wanted the women's opinion on this situation. Because see, I've said this in my last video about Mason Greenwood, and this is about Greenwood. I've said this, man. If you guys watch Gone Girl, I'm going to give a brief preview of what I said in about Gone Girl. Any man should watch Gone Girl because it shows you the manipulative side of females. And I'm not saying that his girlfriend was manipulative in, being guilty, because he wasn't found guilty. I'm not saying that was the case or intention. What I'm saying is that if you watch the movie Gone Girl, it's between a couple that is Ben Affleck and this famous female actress that I don't know her name, and she basically manipulated the situation as if he killed her, like he abducted her, like she disappeared or vanished. So she wanted it to appeal to the public eye and social media that he was in the wrong, that he did her wrong, that he killed her, he abducted her, he hid her, he did whatever. But Ben Affleck knew better. He knew that she was trying to manipulate the situation in her favor, in making him look like he was the bad guy. You understand? So he hired this savvy lawyer, and the lawyer basically was telling him, no, don't be saying she's in wrong and she's doing this and that, cause it's going to make you confirm the fact that you're actually guilty, cause you're like a hit dog. Hit dogs always holler. So he basically said to cool it down. Don't react to her buffoonery. Do not react to it. Just play it cool. Play it cool. And the essence, if you're not catching on what I'm saying, the essence out of what I'm saying is that when it comes on to men versus women, in terms of a say, if a situation includes a man or a woman, much to the detriment of a man's future out of prison, if I go ask you, right, if a man raped a woman, if you ask men, the public eye, and the woman cries that she got raped by the man, who is the public eye going to believe? The man or the woman? This is common sense. Let's be real right now. And this goes to show that a woman say has influence on a decision that's going to be made. So again, if a man allegedly rapes a woman and the woman cries, rape, rape, who is the public eye going to believe? That's an easy question. Of course the public eye is going to believe the woman. And it goes to show that a woman say, and this has nothing to do with feminism. I mean, you could say it has something to do with feminism because it shows that women has more of a say on a decision being made. But it goes to show that a woman say, whether right or wrong, has a high degree of influence. Because see, bringing this full circle back to Mason Greenwood, in my opinion, if this wasn't brought to the forefront to the women's football team or the certain females that actually support Manchester United, Mason Greenwood would stay at Manchester United. Now, the news that came out some minutes ago is that he will leave Manchester United. His terminated has been his contract has been terminated from Manchester United. So he's no longer a Manchester United player. He never will play for Manchester United anymore. He's a foregone conclusion for Manchester United. And he's 21, this kid. Let's get into it. Manchester United striker will leave club after internal investigation. So this is about Mason Greenwood. So it says here that Mason Greenwood will leave the club by mutual agreement. So both parties, the club and himself and his representatives, come to the agreement that, you know, it's best to go Splitsville, you know, to go to separate, to deviate, to go divorce court and you know, just go separate ways, just cut it loose. Because again, I've said this in my last video about Mason Greenwood, that if he stays at this club, there's going to be an increased dissonance, an increased internal battle and conflict with fans when it comes on to this player. Because when Greenwood starts in that starting level, there's going to be some fans that are not going to like it, and there are fans that are going to like it. And when his pitney, his kid, and his girlfriend come to the stadium to go watch football, there's going to be a level of resentment. This is known. So to cut out all of that pus, to remove it, it's best that they can come to the mutual agreement that he's going to leave Manchester United. You understand? So with him removing himself from Manchester United after a 6-month internal investigation, he's not going to play for Manchester United anymore. But let's get into it. So United said in a statement, all those involved, including Mason Greenwood, recognize the difficulties with him recommencing his career at Manchester United. It has therefore mutually been agreed that it would be the most appropriate for him to do so away from Old Trafford, and will now work with Mason Greenwood to achieve that outcome. So Mason Greenwood, based on what it says here, it says that he has owned up to the fact that he's made mistakes. He said that, and that he takes responsibility for it. Yeah. And he basically said, I do not do the things I was accused of. So he's saying those voice notes that were played, that were played over like almost 2 years ago, he's saying those were fake. Those were like were set up, they were scripted or something. That didn't sound scripted, bro. That didn't sound scripted. I'm not going to give you a pass on that. That don't sound scripted. I wanted you to say at Manchester United and play for Manchester United, but that don't sound scripted. That sound like you wanted to open up them legs like the high heavens of the sky and have your way with that woman. Let's be real. You wanted to have your way with that woman. That's how I take it from those voice notes. So I don't understand. Yes, your charges were dropped. You know, good on you. God, you know, God was gracious unto you. But again, man, you saying you didn't do those things again. Come on. If you, and I'm not going to even get into that, but today's decision, he continued, has been part of a collaborative process between Manchester United, my family, and me, that is Mason Greenwood. The best decision for us all is for me to continue my football career away from Old Trafford, where my presence will not be a distraction for the club. This goes back to what I was saying some minutes ago. If he stays at this club, this is going to be a drama field for Manchester United. The best decision for him, although I wanted him to stay, and some persons think I'm not some sociopath because I want a deranged football player that has indulged in deranged, questionable behavior stay at Manchester United. No. I want him to stay at Manchester United because I believe he deserves a second chance, and I believe he's a good footballer and he can benefit the squad. That's what I feel. But seeing that he's not staying at Old Trafford, I could do away with that. It's not like I'm like, oh, don't leave me. Oh, don't leave Manchester United. No, Mason, I want you to stay for Manchester United. No. I want him to stay, but I'm not going to lose sleep if he leaves, man. Again, man. Based on what this brethren do to his girlfriend. His ex-girlfriend or his girl. Well, he's back with his girlfriend, so not ex-girlfriend. But what he did to his girlfriend at then. If he stays, cool. If he leaves, cool. I'm on both fronts here. It doesn't matter to me if he stays or leaves. But I'm taking it from the bigger picture. Although I wanted him to stay, I'm looking at the bigger picture and saying that this brethren needs to leave for not only his own good, but for the betterment of Manchester United as a club, their reputation, which is at stake. Because if this brethren stays, as I've said in my last video about Mason Greenwood, if he stays at Manchester United, then the stigma is that Manchester United is enabling the behavior of what Mason Greenwood did to his girlfriend a couple years back, or almost a couple years back, or probably he's been doing it a couple years back, but it's been found out almost 2 years ago. That's what I'm saying. And Manchester United is big on reputation. See, if Ronaldo, the damning interview he had with Piers Morgan, if Manchester United allowed Ronaldo to stay, that would have tarnished Manchester United's reputation. He would have. Because it's basically saying that you're allowing a player, an employee of the club, to basically disregard you as a football club. Disregard who you hire as manager. Because he was basically talking trash about Ragnick, yes, and everything Hag. And the club, seeing that interview, had to do something about it. Which is why my man went, he got his contract terminated. So bringing this full circle back to Mason Greenwood, again, I'm not losing no sleep because he leaves. If he leaves, then good. If he stays, I'm cool with that. I ain't, although I want him to stay, but I'm looking at it from a logical basis. Feelings disabled. I have my disabled feelings right now. This has nothing to do with feeling. This is from a rational, logical basis. If he stays, again, I'm going to reiterate, this club is going to suffer from dissonance and it's going to have different factions. We are an already divided fan base when it comes down to certain players. Why continue that trend with a player that is controversial? Why? You catch my drift? So, in all essence, it's best to just remove this brethren from the club. Because if he stays, man, you know how social media is. You know how, the British press is, man. Let's get that puss out of here. Let's get him out. And he's leaving. He's on his way out. He's collected his final pay. And he's removed with his family. He's left the family with his kid and his girlfriend. So he's no longer an employee at Manchester United. And going back full circle, man, hey, like what I said, man, if women didn't have a say on this decision, my man is staying at Manchester United. You can, that's what I believe. If the club didn't approach the women's football team of Manchester United and other female football figures that is Manchester United related, or they have a say in football, then he would have stayed. But the fact that they have approached them and asked for their opinion, their say, they know that if they go keep Mason Greenwood despite the women having their say of not wanting him back at Manchester United, that they would lose a large percentage of their female fan base. This is a fact. This is not an opinion. This is not a subjective opinion. This is an objective fact. That if the decision was made to keep Mason Greenwood, despite women saying that they don't want him nowhere near the club, and him go make the decision on keeping him anyway, most of the women that support Manchester United, that play for Manchester United, that love Manchester United, that say Manchester United, that live in Manchester, that where Manchester United is based from, they would be removed. And that is going to be detrimental to the club's income, money coming in. Because, see, dude, you have to understand this from a business perspective. This is why certain bosses or CEO companies, they're very tight-lipped. Because they know that if they say something, it can take out money out of their pocket. They know that if they go with a certain, if they work with a certain company, that is not in favor of what the company represents, or who the company, if the company has funds, or especially if it comes down to like a franchise, or a football franchise or something, it can be detrimental to who supports it. Let's say, for example, Tottenham. If Tottenham go sell Son, they sell Kane already. If Tottenham go sell Son, a good percentage of the Korean fans that support Tottenham are going to leave that club. They know that. This is a business we're talking about. They know that. So the fact of the matter is, without going into different digressions, let me bring this full circle back to mainstream, because I don't want to deviate from my points. So a group of female United supporters protested about his potential return outside Old Trafford before the Wolves game. That was sometimes before last Monday, before the Wolves game. And they said they wanted the club to demonstrate a zero-tolerance approach towards violence against women. Female fans against Greenwood's return put out a lengthy statement to say Greenwood's reintegration would tell them as women that we don't matter. What did I tell in my last video podcast about Greenwood? I said this, and this is in relation to feminism, you could say. I said, if you're in the 60s, if you're a woman, you don't matter. If you're in the 60s or prior to the 60s, you don't matter as a woman. You don't have no earning opportunities. You don't have no job. You're at the foothold of a man. If a man if you disrespect a man, you get slapped in the face. If a man wants sex from you, you had no say. We take it from you. And that would be seen as, sex assault. But it wasn't sex assault then. It wasn't part of the Constitution. Although it was more immoral before God himself. But again, at the time, it wasn't against the law. So again, as a woman back then, you were seen as a nobody, really, to be honest. Let's be real. Again, ask your grandmother. But see, right now, women have say, and their say is very big and influential. Because again, that the say of the women's football, Manchester United football team, and who support Manchester United, is the trigger that catapult Mason Greenwood leaving Manchester United. I can bet you on that. I'll bet money on it, and I'm a broke brother, but that's how convinced I am. Even if my pockets are broke, not even having 5 cents or pennies in my right hand, to know say the female say is the reason why Mason Greenwood is out of that club. I know. If you believe differently, comment down below. Seriously, comment down below. The club said they wanted to consult with their women's team, some of whom were part of the England's World Cup squad playing in Australia. That's another thing. Not only is Mason Greenwood going to not play for Manchester United again, but there's a good chance my man is not even going to play for England. And he wasn't playing for England in the first place anyway. But he doesn't have a chance in Glimlight to even play for England anymore. He doesn't have that chance. He's not gonna have that chance. So it's best if him go play for a different country. Jamaica, which is my home country, was interested in his service as a football player to represent Jamaica. I don't want him to represent Jamaica. I don't want him to put Jamaica in that situation. You see me? Don't mix Jamaica in your mix up, man. So the point is, he's not going to play for England anymore. Not just Manchester. He's not going to play for England anymore. I can bet you money on that. He's not going to play for England anymore. And if he plays for England, despite the decision made for Manchester United to leave Manchester United, because he's leaving Manchester United, the England fan base is going to be rattled by that, and they're going to be having problems. England fans can be a bit cagey and rattled. So if Mason Greenwood plays for England again, the England fan base is going to be in turmoil. I'll leave it at that. In a statement last Wednesday, United said the fact-finding phase of their investigation was complete, adding as the decision about Greenwood's future, which rested with Arnold, was in the final stages. So I'm guessing this is Richard Arnold that has he's a part of the club that made the decision to keep our let away with Mason Greenwood. The following day, television presenter Rachel Riley said she would stop supporting Manchester United if Greenwood was allowed to stay. So I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. See, bro, you have to. I know so many guys overlook it, but females have a big say in today's society, bro. This ain't the 60s no more. You see me? And knowing how men, companies value women, especially in a sexual manner, but they still value women anyway. They know that if they lose a good support of their women fan base, that's going to be detriment. That's going to take money out of them pocket. So to save face, you could say, they're going to actually comply. They're going to be compliant with their say. They're going to go with the female say, because they know if they go keep Greenwood, or if a decision is made against a female fan base support, that they're going to lose their female support. They know that. It's like this, bro. It's like this. Let's say that you're a movie maker. You make a movie, right? And let's say that your movie is let's say not Scream. I'm not moving use. I could say Scream because if you watch Scream, the horror movie, it shows you some sociopath killing women. Mostly women are killed in those movies. So, alright, let me use that. If I'm the movie maker and I make Scream 7, and I show a numerous amount of women being killed by sociopaths that wear the Scream uniform, the outfit, is my female fan base going to be in support of that? No, there's some women that don't mind, but on a large scale, I would lose fan base. And I'll say this: even in the previous Scream movies, I believe that there are some women that didn't like those movies, and they stopped watching them, or not, and they probably stopped watching horror films altogether. You have to think deep into this. This goes way beyond masonry. This is happening in different fronts in society. So if I go make a movie, talking about, a movie that is exposing how women are really, some men, like, in terms of exploiting men for their money and so forth. Do you think women are going to be in support of that? I'm getting real right now. You think women are going to be in support of that? No. Because women don't want the women don't want men to know how they exploit men. Why? That would defeat the purpose. How they go use men if they don't want? They don't want that. So men go like that movie. It's just like um um man, I'm missing a movie right now. I think it's what's the name of the movie again, man? Was it Marge Counselor? No, Marge Confessions of a Marge Counselor. I can't remember the movie. I can't remember the movie. But basically, man, there's some movies out here so that put women in a bad light. Well, those movies still get good ratings, but there's a good percentage of women that don't like those movies and they don't support those movies. No, the lucky thing is that there's a good, support that still love those movies anyway. But there's a good, decent support of females that don't like those movies and trash the movie. They have all these criticisms, these movie critics on social media about the movies that they put women in a bad light. It talks down on women. It demonizes women. All of this and that. So bringing this full circle to Mason Greenwood, as I finish this video podcast, Mason Greenwood will believe in Manchester United. He will no longer wear the Manchester United graced kit. For you guys, such as myself, that had high hopes of him staying at Manchester United, go crush that right now with your left foot. He's not, because he's a left-footed player, Mason Greenwood. Crush that with your left foot and get that out of your head. He's not going to be playing for Manchester United no more. So crush that fantasy that you have that he's going to come. He's not going to come back. Wasted years. A wasted career that hasn't even started officially. This virgin is 21, not 41. And his future, even, let me say this, even if my man leaves Manchester United, which he will, his future, man, this is going to be a tainted, permanent, inked situation that he's never going to forget. Even I don't even care if he go play football in Alaska or in Antarctica. He's not going to forget about the situation here. And fans will not forget the situation here. They will not. So even if him go move his family, to Australia or wherever the hell he's going to play football, in wherever, man, in Hawaii, wherever, this situation is not going to leave the back of his brain. It will not. And it's going to probably haunt him forever. Until his final days. May I say it? Dare I say it? This is not going to just forget away like that. Because this, he knows, again, this is not a bridging that we signed. This guy came from the academy. From the age of 7 through the academy. Had high hopes for this brethren, starting with 2018. Mason Greenwood, Mourinho brought Greenwood to the squad first dips in 2018-29 season, just to get a frontal front experience, first experience with what it's like playing in the first team squad of Manchester United. And we saw some clips of this brethren in the academy under 18 scoring goals with his left foot, right foot having the demeanor of Robin van Persie. We believe said, boy, this guy plays like Van Persie. He's good with both feet like Van Persie. He moves like Van Persie. He's even slow like Van Persie. Mason Greenwood is not the quickest player, but his IQ at the age he is, dude, most of these players that are playing in big leagues, like let me name some players like Raheem Sterling, I would even say Sadio Mane, these certain pace personified players. I would say Mason Greenwood has an IQ that is higher than some of these players, and I'm being real. This guy is just 21 and he has a high IQ than some of these pace personified players. Better than Dan James. That he floors Dan James all day when it comes down to football IQ. Even Rashford, he floors that. I would say he's probably better than Marcel, but Marcel has a high degree of, you know, IQ. So they're kind of matchy. But again, bro, Mason Greenwood's IQ for football is high. This is not just a rinky-dink type footballer that just come out of the academy. This is a quality there's certain person that he started as a midfield, but he was actually a striker. That came out as a striker outside of the academy to play for Manchester United, starting with 2019-2020. And in his first season, he was a banger. I think he had about 18 goals in a competition or something like that. And he was just like 18, 19. So he's not going to be playing for Manchester United anymore. And that's the unfortunate truth. But who's at fault here? No, Mason Greenwood, he said that he didn't do the things that he's accused of. But bro, you put yourself in that situation. You're the reason why you're not playing for Manchester United no more. That's on you, bro. That is on you. That is on you. Nobody else. Not your girlfriend, not your dog, not that is on you. Not your father, not your mother. That is on you. Man is talking here. Okay, we have some light. That is on you, bro. So yeah, you took responsibility for whatever mistake you made. But the ultimate mistake that you made is doing all that and not playing for Manchester United anymore. Because I know deep down you still wanted to play for Manchester United. You know that, I know that, we all know that. And that's something that you cannot deny. I'll say this to you though. From the heart, I'll say this with my right hand on my left chest. God bless your family, your girlfriend, your unborn child. I wish you health and prosperity. I wish you the best of the future. But I must say this, and I said this just a while ago. Your future will not forget this situation. It will not. You could go to a shrink, you could go to a psychiatrist, you could go to a psychologist, you could go to a black Jesus, you could go do voodoo, you could do obia to try to forget all of that. You will not forget that. That is cemented in your brain. That is a situation that you cannot forget. And it's going to haunt you. It will. And I'm not talking down on you, bro. It will. Sleepy G, Steven Gerrard of Liverpool, you don't think the slip that he had against Chelsea that cost him the title, you don't think that's haunting him now? That is still haunting him. That is still haunting him. And it may seem trivial on the surface, like it's a small thing. To him, it's not. He spent all his career at Liverpool and he hasn't won one digga trophy. And you have man like Jordan Henderson winning the Premier League trophy, captaining that side to winning the Premier League trophy for Liverpool. And he hasn't won a trophy for Liverpool. A Premier League trophy, Gerrard. He has no Premier League medal. He has none. I'm gonna finish the video right here, so because if I get deep, boy, them go take down this video. Like and subscribe to the channel, leave your comments down below. I know that I don't get a fair share of views. Maybe I'm not hipped on how to make these videos more viewable, but if you see this video, please watch the fullness of this video. Like and subscribe. Dislike this video. If you disagree, state your disagreements in the comment section. I'll be happy enough to go at it with you in the comment section. Yeah, down below. And with that being said, I'm out.